We are riding down the road right now, the girls and I, heading back to Ontario. It's North American Cup Day. I marked all of the 2-year-olds. I don't want to mark all the 3-year-olds. I want to talk about all the 3-year-olds and how they're doing and what the expectations are. There's some of these horses, there are a couple of 2-year-olds, there are some 3-year-olds, some aged horses that will likely be leaving us over the next 3, 4, 5 weeks. But for right now, I want to talk about the 3-year-olds. Admiral Dio. Harry likes this horse. He's, as I said, he's not going to be ready for quite a while yet, but Harry really likes what he's seen from him, and that is good. This is a former $105,000 yearling that I rather liked at the sale. We didn't end up with him. We had to wait until his 3-year-old season virtually is going to be over by the time we get him ready, but it is what it is. We'll race him throughout the fall and the winter. Arson has been tremendous. Now, Arson's not going to come in tight as, you know... I don't know, sweetheart. Is that? Yeah, that is prison. You're right. He's not going to come in like zinging tight. We gave him a couple of weeks off. There's a long summer in front of us. Probably going to use this first start in Kentucky as a tightener for him. I'm not taking him for granted. I just think that we have a long summer ahead, and to just have him down there and drill on him just makes no sense. So we're probably going to train him in 2 minutes, 4 days before he races, and then race him at Oak Grove. We'll see how he does when he's down there. Blanton's Blue is racing tonight at Yonkers. First start for Megan. First start ever in Yonkers, I believe. My brother Mark is going to drive him. He knows him really well now. He's drove him his last 2, so he can help Megan with setting the hobbles up in the bike and how they're supposed to look. He's in tough tonight, I'm told. I guess the numbers 2 didn't fill. They opened it up a bit. They have some horses prepping for stakes in there, so it is a little salty. But we'll see what Mark can do with Blanton's Blue. Born to Dance is in Monday. Has been racing good. Continues to race good. I think he's got the inside post on Monday at Northfield Park, if I'm not mistaken. Dominion is going to be Indigo. I think he's going to be Indigo at Grand River this week. So it's been a while since I raced at Grand River, but they race on Wednesdays and Fridays, I believe. Don't Talk About Bruno was going to be going to Kawartha. We made a decision. I talked to Dominic. Rather than racing some of these horses over their head, get Bruno in the Prospect Series, and we're going to put Hallie in the Prospect Series also. And I know Patricia and a number of our clients don't want to race in the Prospect because it only races for $8,000 and you got to pay to get in it. I agree 100%. But you know what? I want to get the horses some confidence, and although Bruno has to win because that's where he fits, Hallie, I believe, could be a pretty decent grassroots filly, but at the same token, I want to get her some confidence also, so we're going to put her in the Prospect Series. If we're going with 1, we may as well go with 2, and that was a take from Dominic, and I believe he is correct. Drebin, so happy to see this horse win the other night for a number of reasons. I think front and center would be Dominic and his confidence as a trainer. It's very hard. Addie, lay down, go to sleep. Thank you. It's so tough when you get in a funk. It just feels like you can't do anything right, and you start second guessing yourself as a trainer and as a person, and it's just a really rough place to be in. And I think Dom has done a very admirable job keeping his cool and staying on track, and it paid off with Drebin winning the other night. So great job by him. Flashfly, I haven't heard from Tim yet today. I was of the belief Flashfly was going to be trained, scoped, and then inevitably I think you're probably going to still see mucus and hopefully no blood, but definitely mucus in there. We're going to have to give her some time off, maybe 2-3 weeks off, which I had no problem. I had no problem at all doing. But we're not there yet. I haven't got any confirmation of anything yet today. George of the Jungle raced good the other day, continues to race good. I like George, but George did bleed a little bit, and George is going to be put on Lasix. I had a good conversation with one of our partners with George, asking if we could, if I thought that maybe having no hobbles was better than hobbles, and they seemed to slow him down. And my take on that is what I'd said to Greg was simple. I do not subscribe to the hobbles slow them down theory. A very fluid, gaited horse brimming with confidence with no hobbles on is a beautiful creature. And I believe, yes, if we get to a point where the horse is doing everything perfect and maybe doesn't need the hobbles now, if you take the hobbles off, can they excel? Yes, I suppose they can in some regard. But there's a long way from where George is to that point. I subscribe to the if they need the hobbles, put them on, because we're not getting paid when they make breaks. And that is the thing. And the last thing he did do without hobbles on was make a break. There was no certainty as to why he made it, just that he did, and we're going to do everything we can to ensure he doesn't do that again. So the hobbles are going to stay on him. He's going to go on Lasix. He's going to race his next start in Dresden in the grassroots. I think that's a very smart choice by Dominic. Great Bet will be making his way to Northfield Park this week. I just said I appreciate the candor of Dominic, and our trainers. Nobody wants to lose horses, but if they can't do where they're at and we have an alternative, then it has to be what's best for everybody, right? Nobody wants to give up and say, oh yes, I can't get him to go fast enough. He might just not be fast enough. The problem might be in your explanation. He's just not fast enough, but he will be fast enough. I mean, when you have J-Port Beach Boy at 2-1 in the class that this horse is going to race in, I didn't hate J-Port Beach Boy. I think probably really low what we got paid for him, but at the same token, he had to move out of that class and move up, and I didn't know if he could do that. Move to Great Bet. Great Bet is an infinitely better horse than J-Port Beach Boy was, and I think he'll do well in those classes at Northfield. I just didn't necessarily want to bring him over there right away. I was hoping that we could race him in some sort of condition claimer, or I was a little surprised that the condition claimer at Northfield goes for $6,000 also, or whatever it goes for. That, I guess, was a major component in the decision to move him to Northfield also. Gypsy Hill was great last night. I still think there's lots more under the hood from Gypsy Hill, but he was good last night and was a winner. I was proud of him for that. Hallie in the Clouds, we're going to give her a little class relief this week coming up. She's going to drop into the Prospect Series, and it is the Prospect Series is in Kawartha Downs this week coming. I'm Fancy Like will be racing next Friday at Scioto. I likely won't be there for her. The Buckeye, I think she's a step below, but she is improving, and we'll see how she does in Scioto on Friday. Insider trading, fingers crossed. We have her bred to to Green Shoe, or not Green Shoe, sorry, Chimpanzee. So I'm hopeful she'll get in full. There was nothing wrong with her. I just thought if she's not going to be a stake filly and has a strong resume and a great family, now's the time to pull the trigger if you can, and that's what we tried to do. We did breed her to Chimpanzee. I think we only get one shot at this, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe two, but that'll be up to the farm and up to Dr. Haley Moore, who's in charge of her breeding right now. But she has been bred, and if she doesn't get in full, fine, we'll bring her back. She gets a little rest. Irresistible Sun. Not very often you trot 53-1 and get defeated in the Buckeye, or the Stallion, or the Grassroots. I don't know why it's wrong. Well, we're stopping at. Did we already go by Angola?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the signs right there. I think we did. We can stop on the other side of the border. Is that all right? If we went by Angola, we're 20 minutes from the border, which means we're 30 minutes from the first rest stop. Okay.
Isn't there that building though at the border?
Dada, if we go into
You don't want to go there.
if we miss Ontario, Mama would just stay there and then she'll go watch Harley.
I like the fact that you're trying to learn how to say your L's better. It's impressive. I like. You just didn't bother until you just one day you could say them. You just didn't bother. I did.
Dada.
Shh. Hey, you were supposed to be sleeping, I think. Irresistible Sun, yeah, was incredible last night. Second in 53-1, just raced. And as I told Randy after the race, this isn't his best race. You're going to see a better mile from this horse yet. There's still a little bit in there. And you're going to see it soon enough. Man, he was awesome. Lonely Lakewood is back in Ohio now. He's going to be headed to Lonely Lakewood. And he's going to be... There you go. He's going to be headed to Pennsylvania next week also to race. Not quite to stake competition level yet, but still lots to offer. I think this horse has. Lover's Play was third the other day and raced great. Just got beaten 58. Happy with her. Mel Gibbswan did get injured in his last start. Where he was a winner, he's going to need some time off.
Not grading them?
These are 3-year-olds now. I'm not grading 3-year-olds. They grade themselves every week. So Mel's going to need some time off. Memory and Imagination races today That's what he just said. I just missed the text message about memory and imagination. So I'm going to find out the same as you how he did. Militant was a winner in his last start. We moved him back over to Ohio as he fits a number of condition claimers where he'll start racing on Wednesday. I suspect he'll do good. Mounts for All, off a little bit left hind. It's a bit of a mystery. They're trying to get to the bottom of it right now. Negative on all x-rays. They're certain it's a plus pocket, but you guys hear this all the time, right? Nothing is certain other than he's not 100% sound right now. He's joggable, but not raceable, and we want to figure out why so we can get it fixed. But I don't have anything more for you than right now. I was supposed to have a call with Ron Burke this afternoon. He was going to tell me, hopefully, or Adam, one or the other, what they found, what they thought about Mounts for All. Pickpocket is racing tonight. Big race for him. Big night for Pickpocket. Hopefully, he had a great elimination. This is the final of the good times. So good luck to James all night long, but more particularly in Pickpocket's race for sure. Prince Charmer raced great last night. Easily the best race of his life. Very happy with what I saw from Prince Charmer. Him and Sweeney, yeah, they're not stone cold Buckeye horses, but they're very useful animals, and we'll find spots for them all summer long. Pull the shoes. She got injured, and we actually got her in full. She's in full, confirmed in full, the tactical approach as of right now. Now, will she absorb it or lose it? I have no idea. But as of right now, she is in full to tactical approach. Interesting. Purple People Eater was fourth the other night, but raced good. I was very happy with her race. She's back in to go this week. Ready for Landing races Wednesday. Races Wednesday at the Meadows. Drew the 8-hole, first start on Lasix. I don't know what to think. I would love to get him an easy race. He has been a little bit better at the gate, so we'll see. This road's rough. So we'll see how he is. We'll see how he is on Wednesday. Really don't care. Races tonight at Yonkers. I'm interested to get some feedback from both Megan and Mark about Ready for Land, or Really Don't Care, and Bland's Blue. Sunset Acres girl trained great yesterday. She's off to Michigan. Those horses are going to race on Wednesday, I believe, of this week. We'll have 3 2-year-olds racing Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. Mountaineer Prince will be one. And he'll race before. So he'll be our first starter of 2024. I had told you a second ago that it was going to be Dancing in My Socks and Fire and Shine, but it's not. I believe it is going to be Mountaineer Prince. So we'll see. I could be wrong with the date, but I don't think so. Sweeney did all he could last night. Kind of get jammed up in the last turn and get out. We left him in Southern Ohio because he needs to be out of Northfield. Doesn't get around the half is good. You know, it's just a barn. I think this horse would excel from going out in the field, just living in a more relaxed setting. And Stacy and Brett have a great setup there, so just made all the sense in the world. That's where he's going to stay right now. Time is on my sides, back training now. Very eager to see what happens with this guy. Victory Blue Chip, we dropped him back into a condition claimer. He'll be racing Wednesday evening at Northfield Park. I'm happy to drive him in there also. Watch Your Mouth qualified great. He'll be racing this week also. Widespread Panic is making a trip over to... Yeah, Watch Your Mouth. Yeah, Widespread Panic's going to make a trip over to Dr. Brown's so we can have a look at him on Tuesday morning. He's just a little hot the other day and a little bothered, a little frustrated. Is there something going on? Is there something we can work on? Dr. Brown will find it if it's there. So that is your 3-year-olds. We'll be back with your race horses. Still got your opening to do, but I'll talk about your race horses in just a minute.